So some of the scariest stories ever told are the ones that are actually true. This is why horror and science fiction films are scary, but they just don't touch us the same way that real life events would. In today's video, we're gonna go over one of those true stories that actually happened, and it began on the dark web. Everything you are about to see and hear are all from true events that took place. There are police records showing the arrests that were made, and these are actual people. Some may find this content disturbing, so I advise you now that viewer discretion is advised, and the following video may not be for the faint of heart. I hope you guys brought your appetites because we are about to serve another hot plate from a true story of the deep dark web. So what does a cannibal do when they're hungry for human flesh? Some might go to extremes and consider kidnapping or murdering in order to prepare themselves a tasty meal. Others, like Armin Meiwes, just turn to the dark web, a place where you could pretty much find or buy anything your heart desires, whether it's legal or not. Armin Meiwes was a German PC repair tech born December 1st, 1961. Although he looks like a regular guy, this is pretty much the real-life Hannibal Lecter you're looking at. Meiwes had a craving most of his life to actually eat and taste human flesh and meat. This craving became more of a reality when his mother passed away and left him to his own devices. Armin Meiwes became so obsessed with cannibalism he started doing some research online and diving into the deep web. He claims that he found many different cannibalism websites, but there was one that stood out in particular to him, the all-known Cannibal Cafe. Cannibal Cafe was an actual site dedicated to cannibalism, and I'm going to read you a couple of quotes that the site said right now. One part of the site read, "California and Midwest Human Female Stockmen's Association. All livestock guaranteed BSE and hoof and mouth disease free. USDA choice live roasts and prime cuts. Fully trained snuff slaves." The California and Midwest Human Female Stockmen's Association is a professional association of ranchers and stockmen specializing in the raising and production of human females as livestock for use as meat and snuff slaves. Every member's ranch is inspected by C and MHFSA as sanitary and disease-free before full membership in the association is granted. In addition, every one of our quote-unquote cows are completely trained as snuff slaves as part of the production process. If it's not disturbing enough that they have ranches where they're actually raising human females as livestock, if that's not disturbing enough, the fact that they have an inspection team that will inspect this facility and make sure it's sanitary and disease-free, I want to know who this inspection team is as well. The things that are being broadcast and displayed on the dark web are absolutely unbelievable. So this is the website that Armin Meiwes stumbled across, the Cannibal Cafe. Inside the website, there was plenty of chat forums where cannibals or wannabe cannibals could actually communicate with wannabe victims. So on this website, you've got many different types of sick people. You have people that want to eat other people, and then you also have people who want to commit suicide or who want to be tortured and punished and eaten alive. So after coming across the website, Armin Meiwes decided that most of these emails and chat forums were fake. He didn't believe most of them until one email came to him in particular. Burned Brands. The subject title of the email was "Your Dinner." And in the email, Byrne explained how he wanted to be Armin's first victim and meal. Now for Armin, this sounded like a great deal. This is exactly what he was looking for. Armin never wanted to kill anybody against their own will. He actually had a fantasy of eating someone that wanted to be eaten by him. It was a very intimate relationship for him, and that's exactly what Burned Brands did. So the two men got to know one another. It's said that they have met several times before the actual event took place. However, there was one day in particular that would turn Armin Meiwes and Burned Brands' story into a nightmare. That night, Burn Brands would meet Armin Meiwes in his home, and this was the night that it was agreed to happen. It was even said that Armin had candles lit and a glass of wine sitting on the table preparing for this special occasion of his first time eating a human being. Burn Brands did agree to go along with this, and he also agreed to be eaten while still alive. However, he didn't want to go through too much pain, so he did down a bunch of painkillers to the point that he was almost ODing before the event took place. On top of that, Armin wanted to record the whole event, so the cameras were rolling. Burn Brands laid down inside the bathtub after taking the pills as he was beginning to pass out, and Armin Meiwes sped up the process by stabbing him a couple times in the chest and neck. While Burn was bleeding in the bathtub, Armin began cutting and slicing away at Burn's genitals. That's right, he chopped off his private area as the part that he was going to be cooking first. Armin began sautéing Burn's private area on a frying pan and then sat down at the dinner table with a glass of wine to eat his first human being with, while Burn was still inside the bathtub bleeding out to death. After Burn was dead, Armin began cutting up the rest of his body and packaging his body parts into plastic and Ziploc bags where he would then contain them inside of a deep freezer. Armin planned on eating Burn's whole body over the course of the next several months. However, his plan was interrupted when police caught on to Armin. They raided his house and they found meat frozen inside of a deep freezer, which was later positively identified as human flesh. On top of that, the police also found the videotapes that Armin and Burn had made, and they were a disgusting sight. The whole process was caught on camera: the cutting, the chopping, the killing, and the eating of Burn Brands' body. These tapes were kept as evidence against Armin Meiwes when he would go to trial and sentenced to life in prison. Also, the tapes were so disturbing that police made sure these tapes would never see the light of day again. And the crazy part about all of this is that it all began on a chat forum on the dark web. So can one person actually take full blame if the victim themselves were voluntarily offering themselves to be killed and eaten? In any case, anybody who is suicidal and wants to take their own life requires medical attention. However, on the deep dark web, there are pages that allow people to explore their suicidal fantasies and also talk with other people about ways that they can kill themselves. And in today's video, it just so happened to be by being eaten. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment down below, let us know your thoughts. There will be more episodes like this coming in the near future, so if you did enjoy this, make sure you stick around. And also, there's monthly giveaways, and you could have a chance to win something every month simply by being subscribed to the channel, so make sure you stick around, and I will catch you guys next time.